This is May the 5th, 1990, Saturday afternoon. This is Aunt Jessie Proctor Tucker outside of her home in early springtime after the big floods of 1990. You've been on television before then, huh?
Yeah, I have.
When?
I went to two different parties and they showed them like that. One at Old Salem and Brother Land taking some pictures down at the church.
Well, what we just kind of talk about things in general. Tell me when you were born and where you were born.
I was born right here in 1899.
1899. What was about the first thing you remembered?
Well, I don't remember too much. I'm just being a kid and riding the horses when my dad would be plowing, something like that.
Who was your dad?
John Egbert Proctor.
And who was his dad?
Nathan Proctor.
Who was his father, do you know?
As far as I can go back.
It was John Proctor is who it was. He fought in the Revolutionary War up in Virginia.
Nathan's daddy was John.
Mm-hmm. John Proctor. He came here in 1841 and he's buried over yonder. It's an old house place. Who was your, would you list for me the oldest and then on down the list as far as you know, your dad's brothers and sisters?
Lord, I can't do that.
Well, there was William Smith. That was his oldest brother.
He had 7 or 8 sisters.
He did.
I have the names wrote down somewhere, but I can't remember them. I never did see but 1 or 2 of them.
Did they all live around here?
No, they none but Aunt Jackie. And then Aunt Lucy lived in Clarksville. She come down here once or twice on the train. And nobody never did go up to visit her that I know of. No, he had a brother named Henry and
Spence.
Spence.
Well, you knew Spence's. Did you know William Smith's kids?
Yeah.
Who were they?
Claude and Laura and Charlie and Kate. Cousin Kate married Dr. McKinney. Cousin Laura never did marry. She was an old maid school teacher. And you remember Claude Proctor had the hardware store for that, don't you?
Yeah.
And you don't remember Charlie Proctor because he died when I was just a great big girl.
What was Spence's kids? When did Spence marry?
When?
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but Aunt Fanny had been married before. He had Sally and George.
Is that who he married?
Then Uncle Spence married.
Okay. Well, I think Uncle Spence didn't marry till he was 65.
But he's old.
And Aunt Fanny, is that Annie Belle's mother and dad?
Mm-hmm.
And what was Fanny's maiden name?
Who?
Aunt Fanny's maiden
Welch.
name.
She was Welch.
She was.
Her and Mama ain't.
Oh, that's right. That's right, yeah. And he must have been quite a bit older than she was because they had a family of their own then, didn't they?
Yeah, Uncle Spence was older than Aunt Fanny.
What about Uncle Henry? Who did he marry?
Well, her name was Belle, somebody, I forgot who.
Had she been married before?
I don't think so. And they had 6 children. They had Rose and Bertha and Lola and Ray were the girls, and Oscar and Gober were the boys. 6 children.
Did they stay around here or did they leave?
They lived up down on the Bass place for a long time. Well, Uncle Henry died up there.
He's buried down in Nobby Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about Henry's kids? Do you know where they are or where they went, if any of them still alive?
No, they don't live in there. Ola married Doug Limpkins over at Dobby. You remember?
Yeah.
And Bertha married George Post and lived at Sims. They've been dead a long time, both of them. And Rose married Ed Crump and lived there in DeKalb. Had a hardware store. And Ray married Davis. She lived in New Boston. She just passed away, I think, last year or the year before.
You don't know much about the girls. You said you had a list of them and who they married and everything.
No, I don't know anything much about it.
They were your own aunts, though.
Huh?
They were your own aunts, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Never did see them. Nothing but Aunt Lucy and, and Aunt Jade did. See, Mama's mother passed away on the way from Alabama here. And then they come on here and Grandpa met Aunt Jady, my dad's sister, and married her. So she was Mama's stepmother and sister-in-law too.
Well, Aunt Lucy that you're talking about wasn't you had a sister named Lucy too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. She married Napoleon Patton. And I don't know how many children she had, but several.
What about your brothers and sisters? Name the oldest one down. Name the oldest one and then give me their kids as best you can. Charlie was the oldest, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Well, he just had Jim and Clyde and Flora. And his wife died when Flora was small. And then he remarried again. Remarried Nettie Flandry.
I've never seen a bird like that. It's yellow or gold with a black topping on it. Is that a finch?
I think so.
I've never seen one like that. Beautiful.
Where's it at?
Out there on that figure. Can you see it?
I've got a mud martin built yonder in that nest under the porch. It's built there and raised a family of 10 the last 4 years. This is 4 years. It's got.
Yeah, they're pretty handy about that, these porches. That is a beautiful bird.
Now I've been throwing bread and stuff out to them. I have a lot of birds coming around to eat.
Okay, there was Charlie, and who was next?
Annie.
Granny Howard was next to the oldest.
And she just had Mabel and Florence and Pete.
And then who was next?
Then he had, his first wife died when Maddie was little. Had Clarence and Cecil and Maddie by his first wife. And then he married Sonora and had 3 girls and 2 boys by her.
Well, Sonora, has she been married before? Where did Sonora come from?
Mississippi.
What was her maiden name?
Ralph, R-O-W-E-W.
Ralph. Oh, so I just hear still. Okay, then Mylon, then who was next?
I guess Ben was the next one.
Well, Ben was next to you, wasn't he?
No.
He wasn't. I thought he was just over
Raymond
you.
was
Who?
Raymond and John.
Okay, and Ben, and we know who his kids were pretty well. But go ahead for the record.
His first wife died when Bessie Mae was 6 weeks old.
When who was 6 weeks old?
Bessie Mae, Mae Shoe Mae.
Oh, man. You know, Penn's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. They might bring him home tomorrow, Bessie Mae told me that. And then again, they might not. And then Ben stayed at Whitworth 7 years before he married Willie.
Huh.
Stayed here with Mama and us. We helped him raise the children. And then Sanders never did marry. He died in Sherman. He had a job on some kind of, I think it must have been a little freight train that run from Sherman into Oklahoma City, I think. And he had some kind of fever, and we didn't know it till we got the message he was dead.
Is that? Well, how old was he?
23.
Where's he buried at?
John went up, rode a bicycle from here to Cab.
What year was that?
I believe it's in 1910 or 11.
You were just a little kid then, weren't you? Much of the way bicycles.
I was either 12 or 13, 12.
He rode a bicycle. Milam rode a bicycle.
John did.
John did.
And sick about it. About all I remember about that is that casket sitting in that hole in that big old house we had. I can't remember how he looked.
Well, you remember, I mean, when you don't remember how he looked before he died, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, after Sandra, then who?
John, I guess. Or no, Mamie come in there. Before,
Before Sandra?
yeah.
Okay.
And she had 5 children.
She married who?
Isaac Humphreys.
Had he been married before?
Yeah, he had. He had 2 children, but they were grown. Yeah,
He was probably a bit older than she was, wasn't
he was old.
he? And he had, let's see, who all was his kids then? He had 4 boys and a girl, wasn't he? Eddie and,
Charlie and Neighbor and Homer and Rufus and Coy. Coy was 12 days old when Mamie passed away. And Mama taken all of them, kept them off and on for years, I don't know how long. They would go and stay with their daddy and Aunt be there so long. But Mama had raised Ben's children, Milam's children, and Mamie's children, and kept 4 till she was a great big girl. And the boys part of the time, he married them.
well, who was your, let's go ahead and finish up with, we got Mamie and Sanders, and who was next then?
And then John,
Who was his kids?
who was his children,
Yeah.
he had 4. He had Sock and Guts, as they call him, and Ned and Santa Ruth.
And then after John, who?
Raymond,
Raymond?
yeah.
What about his kids?
He had 4. He had 3 girls and a boy, Magdalene and Nell and Hester and Chester. They were twins.
And then who?
And Lucy. She never did marry. And then Crab, little boy that died, he was 3, I do, 2 or 3.
What was his name?
Crad, C-R-A-D,
Crad. Where's he buried at?
Doggy. And,
Do you know, do they have a tombstone here?
I have been over to the cemetery all a year, but I plan to go one day.
Well, when you get ready to go, we'll take the camera and go over there and we'll walk through it and look at the tombstones and you can comment on them if you want to.
I don't know what they meant. Thought it was Amy to go one day next week. She wanted to go too. And I don't know if I feel like it or not.
Okay, and then after Raymond, who?
Crad and then me.
Brad, and then you.
Well, Lucy came after Raymond.
Okay. You, how many kids do you, who did you marry?
George Wade, Bud Tucker.
Yeah, on the day of his funeral did I find out what his real name was always. Knew it was Bud. And where did Bud come from?
Oklahoma.
What part of Oklahoma?
Madam County, Wilburton.
How did he end up down in East Texas?
He'd come down here.
And working, or you got acquainted with him up there? Or
Then he come back here.
you got acquainted with him up there?
Yeah, we married up there. That was in 1923. And then we had 9 children.
Okay, tell me who they were from the top down.
Well, off the Ray, and then Polly, and then we lost a little baby, John Earl, who was 2 months and 16 days old. And then Ruby, and then Dorothy, and then we had the twins, Doris and Donald. Then we had Peggy and Van. And we seen some pretty hard times trying to raise them, get them through school.
Well, tell me about your mother. She was a Welch, wasn't she?
What? Oh, I know about it. But and then her mother was Ellis and married her.
They came from Alabama, didn't they? Up just outside of, what county in Alabama?
Montgomery County, or close. They lived in a little place called Eclectic.
Eclectic.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Eclectic, Alabama.
It was, I guess it's 25 miles from Montgomery. North.
Montgomery or Birmingham?
Montgomery.
But they didn't come from Birmingham? From Montgomery, Alabama.
Just Montgomery, around Montgomery.
Eclectic. You know what year they came over here?
No.
It was 1868.
Mom was 13 years old, she said.
It was 1868 when it was.
18 when?
18 and 68. Your grandfather, Benjamin, was Benjamin Welch, wasn't he? Okay, he fought in the Civil War, I believe, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was held prisoner by the Yankees after the first Battle of Bull Run for almost 4 years at Camp Chase, Ohio. You remember that story? Granny told me that. He said that the best meal he had ever had to eat in his life, since he was nearly starved to death, was moldy cornbread and sardine molasses. But they like to starve to death up there in that prison camp.
I think Grandpa, Mama's daddy was a colonel or somehow in the army.
Who?
Mama's daddy's dad.
He was what was his name? No.
Is George.
George Welch.
Colonel George Welch, I think.
Colonel George Welch.
I believe
During the Civil War.
the cemetery we went to, Darcy, 3 years ago, over there, it had a lot of Welch monuments, and some of them had emblems of being in the service on the monuments.
Was he buried there? Where was that cemetery?
Just out of Montgomery, a little place called China Grove.
China Grove Cemetery. Or is it in a little town or just a cemetery?
Well, the cemetery's off out in the country, like,
And that's where the Welches actually lived right in that area there. Do you know
Yeah,
what?
the old Welsh house was down just a little ways from that cemetery.
Well, what is your old Welsh house? Is that the one that your dad lived in? I mean, that your granddad lived in?
He was born there and raised there.
Colonel George Welch. Okay.
I think it was. Let me see if I've got something right here.
Has that Welch man over at Atlanta got that information?
That's your dad to me. But I misplaced it. Your hair might be a little bit. Yeah, see if you fix that. See if it don't get her.
This is just a list of the people who were over at the
Oh, is it? Well, that's not where I'm hunting.
working.
Well, Polly was looking at the other day.
Well, I want you to let me know about that one again, so that
One down here.
in June, yeah, so I can
Okay,
try to be for it. Can't be for sure, but I'll try to.
okay.
But the Welch, our cousin over at Welch Butane in Atlanta knows about him, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
Yes, so he went back there and talked to some of the old ones, but one of the, me and Bill Welch, he passed away since we were there. And he come here and visited with us, me, for a week, several years ago. Then my friend Frances, she's gonna be 90 next March,
You're gonna be 91 and when?
July
July what?
22nd.
22nd. You know, that'll be the March the 24th. Coming up in 1991 will be the 150th anniversary of Proctor's Landing here from, actually they came in from upper part of Arkansas. Did you know that?
I know it's been a long time.
Well, you were born and raised here. Did you ever get out and travel any and go bowl pulling or anything?
I've been to California, been to Florida.
Well, you went out to West Texas during, when we were out there in 1940s, y'all come out there and pull bowls, I remember. What,
I've been to Alabama 2 or 3 times.
what about your, what about Granny? What do you remember about Granny? She was almost grown and gone by the time you were born, wasn't
Yeah, she married when I was barely 2 years old.
she? She did. You know, everybody still misses Granny. She's been gone for nearly 24 years.
Long time. And Mama's been gone 48 years, I guess. Ben was, he was 49 in April. Mama passed away 48 years, 6th of April.
Did she die first or did Aunt Lucy?
Huh?
She died before Aunt Lucy, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember going to Granny Proctor's funeral, but we were in West Texas when Lucy died, I think. What was the best part of your life as you look back on the 90 years?
Oh, I guess when I was a child. When I didn't have no bothers and no worries. And well, I've had a lot of pleasure and a lot of heartaches.
Yeah, that's life, I guess.
Yeah.
What were some of the good times you had?
Do what?
What were some of the good times you had?
Well, going to church and cemetery and being saved, I guess, is the best.
How long you been going down Ward Creek?
Well, we went to the Auger Farm. My dad was living.
Was he a Methodist?
And we didn't go too often. Didn't have no way then. We just go on a wagon and had to work little horses through the week. He had to understand what I'm saying.
What was your dad like? What kind of a man was he? I mean, is he quiet, or did he talk a lot? Or?
He sang a lot. He sang old gospel songs. You know. I remember him that way and plowing, and me going to the field and riding the old sweaty mules to water as much as anything.
I imagine being the baby, you was pretty well the apple of his eye, wasn't it?
I would do that. We had to go down here to water the stock, you know.
Down in the creek.
Mm-hmm.
You take them down the back, or they go down here?
Well, this wasn't a very steep bank then. There was a trail that they had. Ken, that don't look nothing like it did then.
Is that right? Been washed out?
Well, it was clean. There wasn't no brush and rust around there then.
Well, it used to have water in it pretty well all the time too. Y'all used to use that water, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
All year round?
Well, no, we hauled some from other places to drain it.
But your dad caught pneumonia, I think you said, when he was out here digging his sister in 1912,
Mm-hmm.
and died from pneumonia in
Yeah.
December of 1912. But prior to that time, y'all had to carry water.
Hauled it in barrels. And they had wells here, but it was iron ends. So much mineral you couldn't drink it, couldn't use it.
Y'all had put down a well here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this mineral was put in.
Well, you were just about 13 years old when your dad died, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did he ever talk about being in the Civil War?
Not that I can remember. I wished I had paid attention to Mom when all of them talking about, you know, the forefathers and people far back. Now that everybody's gone and that know anything about older people, nobody asks anything now.
Well, your dad fought with the 23rd Texas Cavalry Regiment in the last big battle, and the last one that the South won on April 8th and 9th at Mansfield and Pleasant Hill, Louisiana. The Battle of Mansfield was on the 8th, and then the Battle of Pleasant Hill was on the 9th of April, 1864. And you can go over and find within a fairly few feet of where he was standing, fairly few number of yards of where he was standing in both battles. At the Battle of...
Well, Ken, how do they get a record of all such a thing?
Well, the commanders, both sides, wrote up detailed reports, as well as a lot of people. They're official records, and they've got maps of where all the troops were deployed and everything. 23rd Texas Cavalry Regiment, your dad and Spence were in it, but and then later on, well, William Smith got shot at the Battle of Verdigris River. And December the 1861, December the 26th, about 1:30 in the afternoon. In the first engagement, he and Henry had joined the 3rd Texas Cavalry K Company, and when they got to Gaines, they enlisted them down at Boston. When they got to Gainesville, they put them in K Company 11th Texas Cavalry, and the records are all messed up throughout the entire war because they never straightened out really well. But William Smith got shot at the Battle of Verdigris River, and he stayed in the hospital at Van Buren for 5 months, and they released him.
Did you say Smith did?
William Smith did, yeah. And got shot in the back or stomach one, I don't know what it was. Musket ball by an Indian.
Grandma had 4 in there one time. I remember Mom and Dad.
Yeah, and they,
One boy got killed.
not a Proctor boy. He got shot, William Smith got shot, but he didn't get killed. Now, Henry and him was together. Smith was the oldest, and Henry was the youngest. And Henry went on with the 3rd or the 11th Texas Cavalry over in east of the Mississippi and fought the Yankees over there for a while. And he came in 1863, March of 1863, I believe it was. They released him at Fairfield, Tennessee, and he rode a horse home. It took him a month to ride a horse home. Sick.
Well, that war ended in 65, didn't it?
Yeah, spring about this time of year. But he got healed up and got well, and they all 4 joined the 23rd Texas Cavalry, but he was the only, your dad was the only one that was still on his feet, but all the rest of them was sick. And he fought at the Battle of Mansfield and Pleasant Hill in 1864 in April. And the Yankee general didn't know how to run a war, I guess. Anyhow, they had a real narrow road coming up through the woods, and he put 800 mules and 200 wagons with all of his supplies, and he put them out front. He deployed them out front, and then they had to go around them to pull up skirmish lines, because the 23rd Texas Cavalry Regiment was formed with 2 other regiments into what's called Javier's, Xavier's, Javier's Brigade, led by Louisiana Colonel or General, Brigadier General. And he deployed 1 regiment every 500 yards, every 1,500 feet, made those Yankees form a skirmish line and have to run back and forth, and they fire and didn't lose anybody in the skirmishes, but they slowed their march rate down from 3 miles an hour to 1 mile an hour, and they got up to Mansfield, and the cavalry pulled off to the west of the road and pushed them into a big open field, and both sides combined, they lost about 2,500 men in a little over an hour there. One of the worst engagements the United States ever had. Since that time, there were some other Civil War battles that were worse, but it was real bad. Anyhow, he was in that battle, the only one. He was dismissed from service at the marsh where the present, they formed the regiment up where the present Marshall, Texas courthouse is, in April of 1865, and dissolved the regiment. Tell me about your mother. What kind of person was she?
She was just a good Christian woman. Good housekeeper. Tended to the children, that all I know.
It's kind of hard to keep an old log cabin clean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me about how that big old log house was built. It was built in 1865 while everybody was gone. Well, while your dad was gone to the war.
The old Ken, this was built, and it was built after him and Mom, when him and Mom were married. And I remember we was talking about that old Yana might have been built while he was gone.
It was built in 1865, anyway. Just because Randy told me, she said that when he came home, he went up from the war. He went over there and there wasn't anybody there, they'd all gone. And he come down the bottoms and somebody was down there plowing and he found out what the new house was. They built this during the year 1865.
Well, I don't know nothing about that.
Well, that's a little bit before your time, wasn't it? But she had a pretty hard row to hoe too, didn't you?
But I thought, see me like I heard Mama say, after they married, they built here.
No. No. That's what Randy told me. But Randy, you know, she was a lot older than you, or she might have been. What about, you tell me a little bit more about your mother. Did she have any brothers and sisters around here?
Just Aunt Fanny and Aunt Beulah was all. Didn't have any brothers. She had one little sister died in Alabama. Really next day.
Well, who was Fanny and Spence's kids?
Well, Aunt Fanny first had George and Sally by Welch, her first marriage. She was Welch and married Welch, her first cousin.
She married her first cousin?
Mm-hmm. And then he
Who,
died.
Fanny did?
Aunt Fanny did.
She married her first cousin?
Yeah.
And they had how many children?
Had George and Sally Ingram. And then when Uncle Phil died, well, she married Uncle Spence then. And then Uncle Spence and Fanny had Claude and Daddy and Annabelle and Forrest and a little boy named Heineman. And he died when he was a baby. Aunt Beulah married twice. Mama's other sister. She first married Cooper and had 6 girls, I believe, and 3 boys.
Who were the boys, girls? Who were they?
Roy and Jim and Elmer. And then she had, when she married the last man, she had another little boy named Calvin. He was a Lemons, the other was Cooper's. She had Mary and Laura and Rilla and Dora and Irene and Ida and Lula.
So she married a Cooper. Who was the Cooper she married?
His name was Tom Cooper. And then after he died, she married a man by the name of Bill Lemons. Ben's first wife was his daughter.
Well, Roy Cooper, whose kids are his?
Roy's children?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's Cecil and Ola, and they had Bill, and he's dead, and Orville and Ola and Aveline and Nick. Nick's passed away. Bill and Nick's passed away, but they're still living.
Bo Cooper's not his.
He's Jim's son.
So all those, virtually all the Coopers in are cousins, aren't they?
Yeah.
Was the Cooper still already living in here at that time?
Who?
Were the Coopers already living in here?
Oh,
or was that
yeah.
just one that
Yeah.
came in here?
Roy and, well, when they was living, they lived here all of them did.
No, I'm talking about the man that she married, Beulah married. Was his people already in here?
I imagine, I don't remember when they married, but I imagine it was. I don't know.
So that makes us kin to just about everybody around here, doesn't it?
Right, here it is.
If they're Coopers, they're probably our kinfolk.
Yes, all of Mama's descendants, and Aunt Fanny's descendants, and Aunt Beulah's descendants was together down yonder. There'd be a bunch of them.
Well, where are they going to have that at? Are they going to have the reunion down at the cemetery?
At the cemetery.
And when is it set for? What day?
Well, we haven't set a date yet, but in June sometime.
Okay, well, be sure and let me know, because I'm going to try to make it, although I'm going to have a real heavy summer this summer. Tell me about your kids, where they at and what they're doing and everything, who their kids were.
Do what?
Tell me about your kids and and their kids, your kids and your grandkids. Just take the oldest one and tell me about their kids and their grandkids and great-grandkids and that.
Well, Ray's my oldest, and he just has Kathy, and she don't have any children.
Okay.
And Linda's his adopted daughter. She has 4 little boys. She married Billy Jones. They live in Dallas. And Polly has 4. Gary's oldest. He has 3 children. And Judy married Elsie Johnson. She has 1 child, a little girl. David's not married. And Janet's married, has 1 little baby. Janet married Terry Lyons. And then Ruby married Walter Shaw. They have 1 son and 2 grandsons. And Dorothy married Bob Turner. He's already deceased. And she has 2 children, a son and a daughter, and 1 little granddaughter. And Don passed away in 73. He has 2 children. Laura is teaching in A&M. I don't know where the boy is living right now. He was in Dallas, but I don't know where he is.
Is Laura married?
Yes, she's married to Fitzgerald. I forgot his given name.
Does she teach, what does she teach down there?
She's a coach.
At Texas A&M?
She finished college there. And
Okay, Don, then go ahead. Then Doris is her twin. He's twin.
yeah, Don and Doris is twins. Doris has 2 children. 1 adopted, of course. And Debbie has 2 little girls, Doris's granddaughters. And Peggy has 3 children. She's been married twice and separated from him. She has 3 of her oldest sons in Florida, I guess now, working now. He left Ohio and went down there, left Friday. Left early yesterday morning.
He went to Florida.
Mm-hmm. Down on the coast. I forgot the name of the town he was going to. Then Van has 3 children, a girl and 2 boys. His daughter is working in Texarkana, and Curtis is in college in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And Clint, Jenna's son, will be a senior next year.
That's all. You were born right here on this place?
Mm-hmm. I've lived most of my life right here.
Pretty bird out there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pretty birds around.
I've never seen a bird.
That one's just eating out of my hummingbird feeder. Well, I didn't know it was drinking sweetened water.
Well, can you think of anything else you'd like to talk about?
No.
Tell your grandkids, your great-grandkids,
No,
maybe your
no.
great-great-grandkids?
I've got Ray has and 4 adopted Daughter has 4. And Holly has 4 grandchildren. They would be my great-grand. Aggie has 2. Dorothy has 1. I guess that's all I've got. Ruby has 2 grandsons.
If you were to talk to them 50 years from now, what would you say to them? If you had the opportunity to talk to them, what would you tell them?
Try to live a Christian life and leave all this dope and drinking alone.
That's good advice.
I tell you this, I hear so much on TV about teenagers are committing suicide on account of this dope.
Yeah, that's sad. Well, they used to make little hard squeezings around down on the creek down there a time or two, didn't they?
Do what?
So they used to make some of that hard squeezings around on the creek up and down at some different places, didn't they? What do you remember most about Granny? Annie?
Not too much on her working in the field.
I don't guess you even remember a thing about her until she was married.
No, I was there 2 years old when she married.
Or was she just kind of like an aunt, or just kind of a cousin or something?
Yeah. Yes, Mabel and Florence are more like the sisters.
Tell me about Mabel and Florence and the days y'all ran around together.
Huh?
I say, tell me about Mabel and Florence and the days y'all ran around together.
Well, we didn't run around much, on just maybe walk church towards Creek.
Walk to church towards
A
her.
lot of times on Sunday, yeah.
They almost, what it is, about an hour, a little over an hour's walk over there.
Yeah, we have to get up and leave early. What a walk to school.
Where did you go to school at?
Well, it started down here at Orange Creek and in 1909, Dad transferred me to Dalby and I went over there then. Oh, till I was in the 9th grade, I believe. And just got disgusted with having so far to walk and muddy and
You walked to school every day?
yes, I rode a horse and had to worry with the horse over there and feed it. If I'd had a bus to pick me up like they do now, I would have had a good education.
Well, 9th grade education those days was a pretty good education. 9th grade was a pretty good education in those days. Where would you have gone on? Did they have more over at Dalby or what?
Yeah, I could finish there. Finished high school right there. But I didn't know the necessity of it at that time. John begged me to go back and go to college. Said, Jessie, you'd make a good teacher. But I don't think so.
What do you remember about Grandpa Jefferson Otis?
Well,
Pretty hard man, wasn't he? In some ways.
yes, he was. He worked maybe with Florence too much. And Annie too. Of course, she didn't have to unless she wanted to. But
Well, Grand was always a hard worker and a little bitty
yeah,
dried up something to go along with it.
yes, she always done her share. And Mama really done her share of raising grandchildren. I don't believe I could ever done it.
She did it pretty well by herself too. Her husband had been dead for
Yeah.
some years. How old was she when she died?
Who, Mama?
Yeah.
She was past 84. No, it was just me and Lucy at home when Ben's wife Ethel died. And he and the 3 children come in to live here with us. And part of the time she had 2 sets of grandchildren at one time.
Well, Granny, whenever I talked with her, after she had a wreck and after she got over it, she was kind of out of it for a while. I asked her. That was before she had the wreck. I asked her what she would do if she had to live everything over again. She said she wouldn't do much of anything different. She enjoyed it.
Wouldn't do what?
Wouldn't do much of anything different. She enjoyed it the way she did it the first time.
Well, I've tried to went to school more, but I'm not sorry of marrying and having a family, for my children, they've never given me no trouble, you might say, none of them. And they're all good to me now. And that's a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, that's the biggest joy of life, I suppose.
When's Frida going to come down and bring the baby?
She's going to have it here on June 1st.
June the 1st.
Yeah, that's the day that Misty graduates from high school.
And what's she going to do when she finishes?
Who, Misty? She's going to college.
Huh?
Misty's already got part of a year of college finished. She's going to go and finish college. If she finishes this year,
You want to Texarkana or?
yeah, she'll start out there. I don't know what she'll do beyond that. Get to that point and see. You never did, well, you talked about Grandpa working the girls too hard and everything else. What else do you remember about him?
Well, I'm too late on he just farmed and drove a taxi a while.
Granny one told me that he couldn't write his name until he was 21.
Could do what?
Could not write his name until he was 21.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I guess Granny taught him how to read. I think the fellow in Atlanta showed him how to write his name.
Well, there's a big family of them, and their mother died when they were small, I think.
No. His mother's buried down here at Ward's Creek. She lived till 1904, I think. He was grown, and it may have been some that he was
Yeah,
one of the
that's
older
right.
ones. There may have been some of the younger ones that wasn't out from home, but they wasn't much. They were pretty old. But I think she died, seemed like 1904. That she's buried down at Ward's Creek. She was a hard one.
Yeah. She was a hard one, I remember that. There was a bunch of them, too.
Around here?
Otis's brother and sisters.
Oh, yeah. With counting the kids, his stepsisters and brothers and half-brothers and sisters, and brothers and sisters, Grandpa had 21. 21 in his family. 21 kids in his
I
family.
know, there's a bunch of them. They buried Hesper Sifford up here till her again in the rain. Her mother was one of Annie's pals. She was Nancy Foster. She and Annie pal ran together. I heard them talking about it. Where's Charles and Marie now?
I think they're in Arizona. Dink was down just a couple, 3 days ago.
He was.
Yeah, he spent 2 nights down there. And then he went back to Dallas there in the Duncanville area, and they're going to go back I don't know what they're leaving out to. They're striking out someplace. I can't hardly keep up with them because they're on the road so much of the time.
You ain't that ready to run down?
Hmm.
How come you'd ever think about getting something like that?
Well, I wanted pictures of me and my grandsons. Such things as this. It's interesting because I can make copies of it.
Ray's got a lot of moving pictures that he taken several years ago, but he said it makes him sad to look at.
It doesn't make you. I don't ever go back and watch it. See Joyce, me back 30, 35 years ago. She was on 2 good legs and everything. Well, before we cut the camera off, what parting words would you like to say to somebody that looks at this 50 years down the road? Anything other than what you've said?
I guess not. Just try to live for the Lord.
You say?
I don't think the world will be here 50 years.
What do you think's going to happen to it?
Huh?
What do you think will happen?
I think the Lord's going to rapture us all away.
Well, how has the world changed since you were a little girl?
For the worst.
I know what direction. I just want to how it's changed. What are some of the things that are different?
Oh, so many things. Why people used to wasn't afraid. We slept out in the hall, not a scream and nothing ran.
Mosquitoes didn't eat you up.
And never thought about being afraid. I wouldn't do that now at all.
Yeah, but you talk about how hard life was back in those days.
I believe people was happier then than they are now.
There was as much sadness and everything as you've seen in your lifetime. Do you think people see that much these days?
Yeah,
Same amount, only it's just a little bit differently structured.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get my picture taken with you over here.
Well, I'm afraid we'll break it.
Well, I don't know. It hadn't broke yet. It might now that I sit down here.
When's it gonna take? Is it taking now?
Yeah, it's taking now. See that red light on it up there? I just wanted to get a picture, show everybody who was behind that camera doing all that talking. Aren't you glad though to have cars and all that sort of thing instead of having you can go?
Yeah.
School bus comes and picks the kids up. And
Yes, that's better. That way a lot. And the kids now don't appreciate it either. Very few of them. Just well, that'll be a finished discussion. Now you have to get set up to a TV to see it.
You'll go out to the house and see it? Gotta get close up of you there, y'all. Put it on TV and just set it looks like it's a television program.
The Dorothy program. Slide. It did take me since she works here. in the sheriff's department. Of course, they had a big to-do. Showed her several times, and well, she was master of ceremonies part of the time. And introduced them all the officials.
What were you doing up at Wilburton, Oklahoma to meet Bud? Did you?
Me and his husband lived there, and Aunt Millie, his mother, and had 4 older children.
Okay, so.
How much does that like being through?
Well, it's through whenever we get enough of it.
Well, I'm tired of it.
You're tired of it? Okay, well, here we go.